You might think these images are from the movie Avatar, or maybe some alien planet. It's hard to believe that these places exist on our own planet. Here are 15 unbelievable places that actually exist. 15. Underwater waterfall, Mauritius. Mauritius is known for its idyllic beaches and crystal-clear waters, but on the southwest corner of the island lies an amazing phenomenon that looks like an underwater waterfall. Despite its appearance, it is not actually an area of flowing water, but an optical illusion caused by the structure of the seafloor. The island sits on an ocean shelf, where the depth is no more than 500 feet, about 152 meters. However, at the edge of the shelf, the depth drops sharply to nearly 2.5 miles, about 4 kilometers. What you actually see in the underwater waterfall is not water flowing down into the abyss, but rather sand grains being pushed through by the current, creating this fascinating phenomenon. 14th, Glowworm Cave, New Zealand. New Zealand is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, but in addition to its majestic mountains, deep valleys, and glaciers, it also boasts a cave system that looks like something out of a fairy tale. The reason for this is that these caves are home to the glowworms, larvae of a species of fungus gnat native to New Zealand. This species is called titiwai, which means light shining on the water in the local language. The bioluminescence is created by the insect's abdomen to attract prey, and it occurs thanks to a chemical reaction between the enzyme luciferase and the luciferin molecule. This phenomenon creates one of the most magical natural scenes you can witness, turning a boat trip through the caves into an enchanting experience as thousands of glowworms come to life. 13th Grand Prismatic, Spring, Wyoming, USA. The beautiful and vividly colorful Grand Prismatic Spring, located in Yellowstone National Park, is the largest hot spring in the United States. With a diameter of about 370 feet, 112 meters, larger than a football field, and a depth of at least 160 feet, 49 meters, this spring could contain a 10-story building. The spring is fed by a crack in the bottom, which pumps up to 560 gallons, over 2,100 liters, of water per minute. The water temperature typically remains around 160 degrees Fahrenheit, approximately 71 degrees Celsius, and this is what creates the vibrant color bands around the spring. The unique colors of the spring are created by microorganisms that live in the hot water environment. Depending on the time of year, you can witness shades of red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. Each color represents a different species of microorganism, creating a vibrant and colorful natural masterpiece. The Grand Prismatic Spring is not only a natural wonder, but also a testament to the power and richness of life on Earth. 12th, Tianzi Mountains, China. The Tianzi Mountains in Hunan Province, China, are one of the most unique mountain formations in the world. Covering about 17,000 acres, they are made of quartz sandstone and began rising from the ground about 400 million years ago. Erosion of the rock over time has created slender mountains that reach a maximum height of 3,976 feet, about 1,212 meters. The mountains are named after the legend of a peasant who led a rebellion against an oppressive regime and proclaimed himself the Son of Heaven. When the mountains are shrouded in mist, they take on a mystical aura, and it is no surprise that they were the inspiration for the mountain scenery in the movie Avatar. The Tianzi Mountains are one of the most popular tourist destinations in the area. Monterrey, Venezuela. We are often accustomed to seeing irregular natural shapes, so it's hard to believe that something could have a sturdy and symmetrical design. However, Monte Roraima in Venezuela is no ordinary mountain. With a summit spanning 12 square miles, approximately 31 square kilometers, this mountain is surrounded by 1,300 foot, nearly 400 meter, high cliffs, almost forming a perfect square. Monte Roraima is located at the intersection of the borders of 3 countries, Venezuela, Guyana, and Brazil, and it has long been a part of the beliefs of indigenous peoples. The Paymon and Capone people believe that it is the root of a giant tree that once bore all the fruits and vegetables in the world. These seemingly unscalable cliffs have inspired many stories, including Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's novel, The Lost World, and the depiction of Paradise Falls in the movie Up. 10th, Panjin, Red Beach, China. China is a country full of incredible geographical wonders, but perhaps none are as surprising as the Red Beach in Panjin. Located near the mouth of the Panjin-Shenhai River, this area has highly alkaline soil, which makes it challenging for most plants to grow. However, the suede salsa plant, a type of seaweed, thrives here, with its deep red color creating a stunning spectacle in the region. In the past, there was a hypothesis that the red appearance of Mars was due to being covered by red vegetation. If that were true, then the Red Beach in Panjin would undoubtedly be the closest representation. With dense vegetation stretching along the coastline, the Red Beach is the largest wetland in the world. Alongside the largest reed field in Asia, which is also located here, the entire area is protected as an important natural reserve. This site serves as a habitat for more than 260 bird species and over 400 other animal species, including rare ones such as the red-crowned crane and the black-billed gull. 9th, Lake Retba, Senegal. On the northwest coast of Africa, approximately 18 miles, about 29 kilometers, northeast of Senegal's capital, Dakar, lies a unique lake unlike any other in the world. Known as Lake Retba, this body of water boasts an extremely high salt concentration, creating ideal conditions for the growth of Dunaliella salina algae. This type of algae has a bright red color, giving the lake its pink appearance. This distinctive hue becomes even more vivid during the region's dry season, from November to June, and the effect is further enhanced by the pinkish-purple shrubs growing around the lake's shores. Lake Retba is also an important economic hub, where thousands of people rely on harvesting and selling salt deposits, as well as fishing. However, fish production here is lower than in other lakes, because, to survive in such salty water, the fish grow to only about a quarter of their normal size, compared to other environments. 8. Polish Forest. Deep within a forest near the town of Grafino in Poland lies a phenomenon that has puzzled researchers and visitors alike since its discovery. Known as the Crooked Forest, an estimated 400 pine trees have, for some unknown reason, grown in a very unusual way. It is believed that they were planted in the 1930s when the area was part of Germany. After sprouting from the ground as usual, the trees bend several feet northward before straightening up again. Why this happened, and why only these 400 trees exhibit this behavior, remains a mystery. There are a few theories. One suggests it is the result of human intervention, perhaps caused by tools used when the trees were young. Another theory proposes that they were all affected by an unusual weather event, such as a snowstorm, during their early growth stages. However, there are no records to support either hypothesis, and it is quite possible that we may never know the true cause. 7. Madagascar Stone Forest. Madagascar is often thought of as a place of unparalleled biodiversity, but its geographical features are equally impressive. The stone forest, located within the Tsingy de Bemaraha National Park, began forming hundreds of millions of years ago as a lagoon. Limestone deposits accumulated on the lagoon floor and, through tectonic activity, were lifted above the water's surface as the lagoon receded. Once exposed, the limestone was eroded over thousands of years by seasonal rains. This, combined with underground water erosion forming caves that later collapsed, left behind an array of towering spires and narrow crevices, creating the largest such structure in the world. The name Tsingy means the place where one cannot walk barefoot, and it is a fitting warning. These limestone pillars, some reaching heights of up to 2,600 feet, are so sharp they can easily cut through flesh or equipment. Navigating this landscape requires exceptional caution and skill. Despite its challenges, the stone forest is not only a geological marvel, but also a sanctuary for unique species of plants and animals that have adapted to thrive in this rugged environment. This breathtaking natural wonder continues to captivate scientists, adventurers, and nature lovers from around the world. 6th, Lake Baikal, Russia. Lake Baikal, located in southern Siberia, is the largest freshwater lake in the world, holding nearly 1/4 of the planet's surface freshwater. At a staggering depth of 5,387 feet, It is the deepest lake in the world and is also believed to be the oldest, having formed around 25 million years ago. As you might imagine, this area is teeming with plant and animal life and sustains countless villages and tribes. But what is truly magical about this place is what happens when the lake freezes over. Since the lake is situated in a valley, it is exposed to frigid winds that sweep across its surface, resulting in the creation of incredible, naturally formed ice structures. Methane bubbles often get trapped within the ice, while tiny particles are blown together, freeze, thaw, and refreeze to form extraordinary shapes. At certain times of the year, rocks can even be seen perched on their own icy pedestals. Lake Baikal is not only a natural wonder, but also a peaceful and majestic place that feels like stepping into another world. It's a destination that captures the imagination and deserves a spot on anyone's travel list if the opportunity arises. With its surreal frozen beauty and unparalleled biodiversity, it is a testament to the power and artistry of nature. Fifth, Richat structure, Mauritania. The Richat structure in Mauritania, also known as the Eye of Africa, is a peculiar geological phenomenon located in the desert near the small town of Ouaddain in Mauritania. This inverted dome spans 25 miles, approximately 40 kilometers, in diameter and reveals layers of rock that form concentric circles. It is one of the most easily recognizable natural structures from space, yet surprisingly difficult to discern from the ground. If you were standing there, you likely wouldn't notice anything unusual compared to the surrounding landscape. The formation of this structure has been a topic of scientific debate since its discovery in the 1930s. Initially, it was thought to be an impact crater caused by a meteorite, but the absence of evidence for melted rock ruled out that hypothesis. Instead, it is now believed that the Riche structure formed over millions of years through the erosion of softer rock layers, potentially deposited when this area was submerged underwater. However, the question of why this phenomenon occurred in a circular pattern remains unanswered. Within the Richat structure are ridges and valleys that follow the concentric lines, and evidence suggests that humans inhabited this region hundreds of thousands of years ago. Ancient artifacts, such as tools and spearheads, have been discovered and dated back to the Stone Age. Interestingly, no artifacts have been found at the center of the depression, ruling out the possibility that it was once an ancient mining site. Due to the fragility of the rock formations, there have been calls to protect the area to ensure it can continue to be studied for years to come. Scientists hope that ongoing research may eventually uncover the mysteries behind how this fascinating and unusual landmark came to exist. 4. Fly Geyser, Nevada, USA. The Fly Geyser looks as though it belongs to an alien planet, but remarkably, it is located just 20 miles north of Gerlach, Nevada. While you might think this is a natural formation, it is actually the result of human activity. A well was drilled in 1916 to provide irrigation water, and due to geothermal activity in the area, the water nearly reached boiling point. The well was abandoned, but a calcium carbonate cone began forming around its mouth. A second well was drilled in 1964 by an energy company, but the water was not hot enough for their needs, so they abandoned it as well, and the structure formed around it is what we see today. The geyser has several vents, from which water shoots up to 5 feet high, and the entire structure now stands between 25 and 30 feet tall. Small ponds and platforms have also formed over the 74-acre area. The high silica content in the water and the presence of algae thriving under these conditions are responsible for the colorful, hardened crusts surrounding it. As the water heats to around 200 degrees Fahrenheit, it creates quartz, a process that usually takes 10,000 years to occur in other geysers. Although there are a few other geysers nearby that formed similarly, none are as large or impressive as the Fly Geyser, making it unique and something you won't find anywhere else in the world. Tercer, Nike Mine, Mexico. What is the largest crystal you've ever seen? No matter how big you think it is, it doesn't compare to what a group of miners discovered near Naka, Chihuahua, Mexico. In 1910, a cave was discovered 390 feet underground, known as the Cave of Swords, and surprisingly, it was filled with gypsum crystals up to 3 feet 3 inches long. 90 years later, another group of miners drilled a new shaft and discovered the giant crystal cave located 980 feet below ground. This cave had once been flooded with hot water, allowing minerals to deposit into crystal formations. The largest crystal ever found here measures 39 feet long, 13 feet wide, and is estimated to weigh 55 tons, making it the largest crystal ever discovered. However, the conditions in the cave are not inviting to humans, with temperatures reaching 136 degrees Fahrenheit and 99% humidity, meaning people can only stay for a maximum of 10 minutes without proper safety equipment. Even if you were prepared, the cave is currently closed to visitors. After a thief attempted to steal a crystal and suffocated to death, the cave was permanently sealed and allowed to flood again in the hope that the crystals can be preserved and continue to grow until better exploration methods are developed. Second Gates of Hell, Turkmenistan. Not only is the existence of the door to hell in Turkmenistan unbelievable, but the way it was formed might be even harder to believe. If you had visited this area near the village of Devasa 50 years ago, it would have looked like the surrounding Karakum Desert, with sand stretching in every direction. In the 1970s, this country was part of the Soviet Union, and the government initiated a campaign to identify all areas with natural resources that could be exploited to support the growing population. In 1971, geologists came to the area and believed there was an underground cave filled with oil, so they set up a test drilling rig to drill down and take additional measurements. However, they quickly discovered a large pocket of gas just beneath the surface. There are no official records from Russia or Turkmenistan regarding what happened next, but according to sources familiar with the activities at the time, the ground collapsed beneath the drilling rig, swallowing both the rig and several leading Soviet scientists. The remaining researchers faced a major issue. They discovered a large amount of methane was being released from the hole they had just created and believed it could pose a health hazard. Their calculations suggested that the best way to handle it was to burn the gas off and that it would deplete in a few weeks. So they decided to throw a grenade into the hole and the door to hell was formed. Someone miscalculated because since that day, nearly 50 years ago, the hole has been continuously burning. The crater now spans about 230 feet wide and 66 feet deep, filled with flames, boiling mud, and fierce orange fire. Efforts have been made to permanently extinguish the fire, especially since it sits on one of the largest natural gas reserves in the world. However, the scale of the problem is so vast that no one has yet found a suitable solution. Now, this place has become one of the most famous tourist attractions in the country and a biological research area due to the creatures that have been discovered living in the center of the crater. Perhaps one day it will extinguish on its own, as scientists thought in the 1970s, but based on current progress, it may take decades before it starts to slow down. 1. The liquid rainbow. It is a small tributary flowing into the Guayabero River in Colombia, but due to its unique plant diversity, it is also known as the most beautiful river in the world. The water flows quickly through an area at the edge of the Amazon rainforest, the Andes Mountains, and the Eastern Plains, and is almost completely transparent. The riverbed has many holes and depressions, formed by the way rocks carried by the current erode the bedrock, creating ideal spots for a plant species called Macarena clavigera to grow. During the summer months, it turns a vibrant red and also provides shelter for other species, adding yellow, green, blue, and black hues to create a multicolored painting. It is no surprise that this place is affectionately known as the liquid rainbow, so unique that many visitors still cannot believe it's real, even when standing right beside it. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Your support helps us keep creating more exciting content just for you. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for being part of our community.